This is the land of the Bush Duff, aptly named after the thumping bass kick of a techno tune. It's a place where Easter means 3,000 people follow the transcendental trail into the Australian bush in search of a tribal gathering. The host of this party was Earthcore, and the location, the New South Wales and Victoria border, along the beautiful Murray River. The preparations for the 3-day non-stop rave involved commissioning several artists to create new and imaginative works of art, which transformed this bush encampment into a fairy tale-like landscape, with artifacts, installations, lights and various bits of eye candy. This is the world of Earthcore. They're 7 years old and they've managed to master the art of putting on big outdoor events which attract many people from the surrounding cities with the promise of an opportunity to get closer to the earth and the chance to dance under the stars.
For many people, the feedback for me is that they have some of the highlights of their year, if not the highlight of their year, is at an Earthcore party or Earthcore festival event. And that comes from all sorts of people, not just punters, but you know, the people maybe making the music, the DJs and a lot of the artists. They get a lot out of coming to this festival, and we put in a lot. So the we stands for the larger we that comes from the directors, then our immediate kind of support group underneath, which includes artists and people running the gate, etc., logistics and you know, even publicists and that type of thing, and then down to the punters, for people who have been coming a long time to these outdoor events, and they know what's going to happen, and they participate in that. They participate in bringing the energy in and really feeling that peak, you know, and bringing the moment to the peak, and then, you know, the camping and the chill out as well, so that new people coming in, they will really have a positive experience.
In amongst the forest of 60-foot eucalyptus trees, the encampment was divided into 3 main sections. The market zone, which provided food, drink and a non-stop dance floor. The main floor, and the site by the beach, the healing area, which provided an array of physical and spiritual workshops.
In the beginning of this century, there was a number of composers that...
The first night, Good Friday, was full of music, nostalgia, information and enlightenment. DJ Ollie Olsen gave a talk about the history of electronic music.
This stuff's been around for a while, and sonically, I mean, some of these noises are just absolutely mind-blowing.
Given examples of the progression of electronica, he delved into his archive to illustrate how this form of music confounded critics and finally gained mass appeal. On the second day, while the party continued in the market area, revellers flocked to the healing zone for a tribal gathering of sorts. Rave music, the main attraction of events like this, is 10 years old and has become an international phenomenon.
One of the things that I think that has made it a global thing is that there's been a real, because it's essentially instrumental music, it's broken down a lot of those language barriers as well. And I mean, pre-techno, I mean, there was no way somebody would, for example, listen to Japanese, you know, much Japanese music, or music from Israel, or music from Scandinavia, or, you know, anywhere. I mean, it's actually broken down a lot of, you know, language barriers, which is fantastic. And in my own travels, you know, like I've met people, you know, from other cultures and we don't share the same language and we can't communicate on that level, but I've been able to communicate through music, and, you know, that's just terrific. It knows no boundaries. So that's another strong reason I think that this scene in particular has become global, is because, you know, the instrumental music, and you know, everybody can contribute to it via the technology, etc. as well. So. Madman, look out. Oh my God, don't ruin my t-shirt. Madman. No. You know, this is sort of a typical example of the devolution that's been occurring in Australia for the last few months, ever since we had that radioactive spill.
While everyone was either relaxing, dancing or prancing around, the Locomoptic design crew were putting the finishing touches to the decor in the main area. The showpiece, a crucifix made out of wood, televisions, dolls and computer monitors. Was this a form of techno-religion, or had the crew of Locomoptic been overwhelmed by the power of the dollar? From here on, the only language the revellers understood was wrapped around the bass line and the beat, as DJ after DJ pitched their wits against the dancing gladiators in this almost medieval amphitheatre. Even in the daylight, some of the tired managed to stay on their feet, while others headed for the comfort of their tents, hopefully to return to the fray later in the day. Sunday took on a new meaning as the main dance floor was turned over to one of Melbourne's finest dance record labels, Green Ant. The entire arena was redecorated, out went the laser and in came the fluoro dayglow decor. The music was much harder and it was very evident that this was the last leg of the Easter Spectacular. As dawn broke, the battle-weary dug deep and gave their best in a bid to make the last few moments memorable. With millions of people parting into the millennium, what is the future of the culture itself? And will it survive another 10 years?